to rebuild my AI consulting business from zero today, there are 8 things I would do completely differently that would save me months of struggle and thousands in lost revenue. Because the way that most people approach AI consulting is backwards. They focus on the tech first instead of the business foundation that actually makes money. I help builders and freelancers transition to AI consultants and close 4-figure clients and retainers and build sustainable businesses. Over the past year, I've built a $20,000 a month AI consulting business. And I can tell you exactly where I wasted time, energy, and money. I'm going to walk you through my exact rebuilding strategy, from content creation to client selection to doing the internal work that nobody talks about, and the biggest mistake that I made that kept me playing small for way longer than was necessary. If you want to land your first or next AI client, you can take part in the free 4-week challenge inside of my free school community of like-minded people, where you'll find a free course that's honestly better than most paid courses out there, and get direct one-on-one access to me for any questions that you might have. The link is in the description down below. Let me start with the one thing that changed everything for my business. Let me show you what I mean by showing you the problem first. Picture this. On one side, you've got a builder hiding in their basement, perfecting N8N workflows, building the most incredible AI systems that you've ever seen, spending 40, 50 hours a week getting every automation and node just absolutely flawless. And on the other side, you've got a builder with half the technical skill, but they're documenting their journey on camera, showing their mistakes, and sharing what they're learning as they learn it. 6 months later, the basement builder has incredible systems that no one knows about. The on-camera builder has 10,000 YouTube subscribers, a waiting list of clients, and speaking opportunities. That's the difference between building in isolation and building in public. YouTube is the #1 driver of inbound interest. Leads, clients, opportunities all flow from consistent content creation. And if you're thinking, Lindsay, I don't know enough to start teaching other people on YouTube, that's exactly what I thought. I waited 6 months to start creating content because I felt like I needed to be more of an expert first. But here's what I wish that I would have understood then. You don't document expertise, you document progress. You document your thought processes. The person who's one step behind you is your perfect audience. I've gotten so many clients and leads and opportunities because of YouTube, but I could have had those opportunities starting 6 months sooner if I had started creating content instead of waiting to become perfect. The framework is simple. Document what you're learning instead of waiting to be an expert. Show your builds, share your mistakes, and document what you've learned every week. That person struggling with the thing that you figured out last month, they need to hear from you. But creating content without the right guidance is like driving blindfolded, which brings me to mistake number 2. Find business mentorship, not just tech training. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. Think of it like a doctor analogy. So you have Dr. A who went to medical school, knows anatomy inside and out, and can recite every bone in the human body. Just incredible at technical stuff. And then you've got Dr. B who not only knows the medical stuff, but also knows how to run a practice, how to talk to patients, how to price services, how to build a sustainable business that helps people and pays well. Most AI builders are learning from Dr. A types. They can teach you every node in N8N, every API call, every prompt engineering technique, but they can't teach you how to turn that knowledge into a business. Building workflows and building businesses are 2 completely different types of skill sets that require different types of mentorship. The mentors that taught me about N8N and AI tools were incredible at the tech, but they couldn't teach me how to package it, price it, and sell it. They'd never done the thing that I was trying to do. So the framework is tech skills plus business skills equals success, not just tech skills alone. You need mentors that have actually built the business that you want to build, not just the technical systems. And speaking of playing it safe with mentors, I also played it safe when it came to my income. Okay, so you know when you're watching a movie and there's somebody stuck in quicksand? It feels safe because you're not sinking really fast, but every movement gets you more and more trapped. What a 9-to-5 becomes when you have a business on the side that's starting to become your main thing. I was making $4,000, $6,000, $8,000 months with my AI automation business, and I was still working my marketing job at the insulation company. And I thought I was being smart, being safe, having multiple sources of revenue. 2 incomes, financial security, what could go wrong? But here's what went wrong. I was playing small because I had this safety net. I wasn't hungry enough to really go all in on building my business. I'd work on client projects after getting off work when I was already exhausted, or I'd pass up opportunities because I was tired and just didn't have the mental and emotional bandwidth. I'd have to turn down calls that interfered with my 9 to 5. 2 incomes feel safe, but that keeps you from going all in on what could be your main source of income. I didn't go full-time until I was consistently hitting $10,000 months, and the second I quit, my business dipped and then exploded because I finally had the time and mental bandwidth to actually focus and execute. So the framework is side income success plus full-time focus equals business explosion. The safety net that you think might be protecting you may actually be holding you back from the breakthrough that you need. But even when I was getting results, I wasn't getting the most out of my business because I didn't own my audience. So build your email list and community from day one. So let me show you the problem with it. A simple analogy: renting versus owning your own home. When you rent, you're at the mercy of your landlord. They can raise the rent, kick you out, or change the rules anytime that they want. When you own, you control your space. YouTube and social media, that's like renting. The algorithm decides who gets to see your content. They change the rules constantly. Your reach goes up and down based on factors that you may be able to influence, but you don't control. Email and community platforms like School, that's like owning. When you hit send on an email, it goes directly into their inbox. No algorithm to worry about. And platform dependency creates business vulnerability, whereas owned audiences create stability. I spent way too long relying on the YouTube algorithm to get my content in front of people. Some videos would get thousands of views and others would get only a couple hundred. So the framework is YouTube for discovery, email for relationships, and that equals a sustainable business. Use YouTube to attract new people and then move them to platforms you control for that real relationship building. Now I can reach my audience anytime without worrying about YouTube's reach. My email list and School community give me direct access from people who want to hear from me. Let me tell you about my biggest pricing mistake, and maybe you'll see yourself in this story. My first AI automation client was a real estate marketer. I built him an entire lead generation system to identify and contact real estate leads. It was multi-agent, had custom web scrapers. It took me 2 months to build, and I charged him $4,000. Which seems like a lot, but not when you consider that this was for a system that probably generated way more than that in revenue for him in just the first month. And you know how that project went? He didn't value it, or more specifically, he didn't value me. He kept asking for more changes, more features, treating me like cheap labor instead of the AI consultant that I was trying to become. And why? Because I priced myself like cheap labor. And here's what I now know. Clients don't value cheap work. They value results. That same system, if I were selling it today, should be $10,000 minimum. And you know what? At that price, he would have respected my time more and not be coming back with all these silly changes constantly. Higher prices attract better clients. The moment I started charging what my work was actually worth, I attracted clients who valued what I was building. So the framework is confidence plus results-based pricing, and that gives you premium positioning. Price based on the value that you create and not the hours that you spend. But even at higher prices, not every client is worth taking on. So think about dating for a second. If you say yes to everyone that asked you out, what kind of relationships do you think you'd be in? Probably not the best, right? You'd end up with people who don't value your time, don't appreciate what you bring to the table, maybe even drain your energy. And client relationships work the same way. For the first 6 months of my business, I said yes to anyone that could pay me. I worked with people who didn't respect my time, didn't pay on time, or tried to haggle on price, or wanted me to build stuff outside of my zone of genius. One client wanted me to build a voice agent, but then they kept asking me to help them fix their website and help them to apply for this prestigious tech award. And I didn't have clear boundaries at the time, so I kind of half-assed helped and then ended up feeling drained and resentful at the end of that project. Energy protection is more valuable than any single. Bad clients cost more than they pay. The client that pays you $3,000 but makes you dread checking emails or getting on calls with them, they're costing more than they're paying you. So the framework is project excitement plus client respect equals sustainable business relationships. If you're not excited about the project and the client doesn't respect your expertise, it is not worth your time. And instead of working custom projects for these clients, I should have standardized my approach. So imagine that you go to a restaurant and the chef comes out and says, "Okay, what do you want me to make tonight? I don't have a menu, I'll just cook anything you want." Sounds amazing, right? No, it's actually a nightmare. You don't know what they're good at, they don't know what to charge you, and they're probably gonna mess it up because they're improvising everything. That was me for the first 6 months. Custom work for every single client. Custom pricing, custom delivery, custom everything. I was like a chef writing a new menu for every single customer instead of having signature dishes that I was known for. Custom work at scale is exhausting. Every project feels like you're starting from scratch. You can't systematize anything, you can't predict your workload, and you can't scale because everything is a special snowflake. Repeatable offers create scalable systems. Custom work creates chaos. For the first 6 months, I was doing 100% custom work. Once I created a handful of productized offers, everything became easier. I knew exactly what I was delivering, exactly how long it would take, and exactly what to charge. So the framework is one signature offer plus perfect delivery plus scale equals sustainable growth. Pick one thing that you're incredible at, package it up, and become known for that thing. But all the business strategy in the world will not work if you are fighting yourself internally. So let me tell you about the moment that I realized I was doing my business completely backwards. I was hitting all of my financial goals, but I felt like garbage. I was grinding and hustling my way to success. I was doing the Alex Hormozy thing of working 60-hour weeks, drinking energy drinks like ones this big every single day, and sleeping like crap. And I thought that's what success looked like, and that's what success required. Push harder, work longer, sacrifice everything for the business. I was burning out, but telling myself that that's the price of entrepreneurship. Then I hit a wall. I was needing hours to decompress from work. I was getting sick every month. My nervous system was completely fried from the chronic stress and months of pushing through the resistance instead of addressing it. And that's when I realized something crucial. Your internal state creates your external results. All the marketing tactics and sales strategies in the world won't work if you're operating from fear and scarcity and stress. I started working with a practitioner that taught me tapping and breath work and identity work. And I know it sounds very woo, but I was desperate because I knew what I was doing was not working. And it's been a process of shifting into this new identity. But since then, I started attracting better clients and closing more deals while actually feeling good. Not because the tactics and the strategies changed, but because I changed. I showed up differently. I spoke with more confidence. I stopped chasing clients and started attracting them. So the framework is better identity equals better clients, more deals, and sustainable success. Your nervous system and identity work compound everything else that you're doing in your business. Now you know the exact 8-step roadmap that I'd follow if I had to rebuild my AI automation business, from content strategy to internal work. But knowing the roadmap and executing it consistently are two different things. If you want to start building your own sustainable AI automation business, you can take part in the free 4-week challenge in my free school community of like-minded people. There you'll find a free course that's honestly better than most paid ones out there, and you'll get direct one-on-one access to me for any questions that you might have. So click the link down below to join. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.